All right, let's talk HFC 21. Because what we just witnessed wasn't just another fight night. No, no, no. This was an event that sent absolute shockwaves through the entire Hero Fighting Championship. We're talking records broken, bitter scores settled, and the whole debate about the greatest of all time, it just got a massive, massive shakeup.
10 seconds. Just think about that for a moment. What can you really do in 10 seconds? It's barely enough time to even register what's happening. But in the world of HFC, 10 seconds, well, that can be a lifetime. It's long enough to change absolutely everything.
Because that right there, that's exactly how long it took for Mark Harrison to land a picture-perfect spinning hook kick and win a world title. Less than 10 seconds. An absolutely electric, unbelievable moment that we're going to be replaying for years and years to come. Now, the story behind this 10-second title fight is just pure, beautiful chaos and opportunity. You see, the main event we all saw was not the one anyone had planned for, and honestly, that's what makes this whole thing so incredible. Okay, so here's how it all went down. The champ, JD Hubble, has to pull out. The whole title fight is hanging by a thread, but then in steps David White, a true fighter's fighter, taking the biggest shot of his life on ridiculously short notice. The stage is set, and then, bam! Mark Harrison just unleashes a spinning hook kick straight out of a video game, and just like that, it's over. A new champion is crowned in the most spectacular way possible. And look, with that win, Harrison didn't just get another shiny belt. He stepped into legendary territory. He is now officially a two-weight world champion, holding both the lightweight and now the middleweight titles. That, my friends, is a very, very exclusive club. And let's be totally honest, it's pretty hard to argue with that, right? I mean, we've still got a lot of year left, but what could possibly top this? The technique, the speed, the stakes. This wasn't just a knockout. It was a work of art that's going to be etched in HC history forever. But believe it or not, Harrison's unbelievable knockout wasn't the only piece of insane drama we got that night. Oh no, the co-main event gave us the violent end to a seriously bitter rivalry. So you gotta remember, the first time Caden Hammond and Michael Harrison fought, it ended in this super close, controversial split decision that had everyone arguing for months. It was one of those fights that just demanded a rematch. Well, HFC 21 delivered, and both of these guys came in ready to leave zero doubt this time around.
The commentary team put it perfectly. Ham Sandwich is going ham. And he was. From the absolute second the bell rang, Caden Hammond was a man on a mission. There was no feeling out process, just pure, nonstop pressure that turned this thing into an all-out brawl.
You could actually hear the punishment in the corner audio. One of the fighters just getting battered in the clinch mutters, "Oh, good knees on my helmet." It was that kind of fight, just a gritty, punishing, back-and-forth war. And in the end, Caden Hammond got his hand raised, avenging his only loss and closing a huge chapter in his career. So, with Mark Harrison's mind-blowing victory, he didn't just win a new title. He threw a bucket of gasoline on one of the HFC's hottest debates. Who is the true greatest of all time? For the longest time, this question has pretty much had two answers. In one corner, you've got the decorated, long-reigning veteran Mark Harrison. And in the other, you have the unstoppable, undefeated phenom, Caden Allen. And HFC 21 just gave Team Harrison a massive new piece of evidence to argue with. When you look at the tail of the tape, it's just fascinating. Harrison's got the edge in longevity, right? More title wins, more finishes. But Caden Allen, he holds that coveted #1 pound-for-pound spot. The ranking that basically asks, who's the single best fighter on the planet? The numbers showed two totally different, but equally incredible paths to greatness. So the core of Harrison's claim is simple: 5 world titles. Nobody else in the history of this promotion has done that. It's a testament to his years and years of competing and winning at the very highest level. But then you look at the timeline for Caden Allen, and it is just breathtaking. A meteoric rise, a perfect record, and maybe the biggest point of all in his favor, he already has a head-to-head win over Mark Harrison back at HFC 19. He hasn't just been winning, he has been completely and utterly dominant. So after a night that gave us an all-time knockout, that settled a grudge, and that threw fuel on the GOAT fire, the biggest question is, where in the world does the Hero Fighting Championship go from here? Okay, so here's where we stand. HFC 21 created a landscape just packed with possibilities. Harrison is now king, reigning over 2 divisions, Hammond is free to chase new challenges, and Allen is still sitting on top of the mountain. All the chess pieces have been moved into some seriously thrilling new positions. And if you want to understand what Harrison might do next, you just have to understand his mindset. Years ago, after his win at HFC 13, he was already calling out the top dogs. This is a guy who has never been content. He's always looking for the biggest, baddest challenge out there. So even as a new 2-weight champ, you know his eyes are already on whatever the next huge prize is. And that brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? Allen won the first fight, sure, but now Harrison has another world title and the kind of momentum that can define a career. The stakes have never, ever been higher. So, is a rematch, a true super fight to settle this GOAT debate once and for all, not just possible, but inevitable? Well, only time is going to tell.